Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I've got good, exciting news. I'm pregnant with number 3 and we're so happy. Aren't we? We're happy. And it's really lovely. Maya, yeah, you're itchy. Oh. Maya's 2 years and 3 months and she can't quite understand that another baby's on the way. But Rochelle, it's really nice. Rochelle can understand a lot more now. Rochelle's actually excited. She's always asking, oh, we're gonna go to the hospital to see the baby. So it's really nice that she's at the age now that she knows that mummy's having a baby. Yes. Today I'm gonna talk about what happens in the first trimester and what my experiences have been so far with baby number 3. I'm hoping that this will help mums to be who's expecting their first child, and also make it relatable for you mums that have had more than 2 babies. I've put timestamps down below in the description if you want to skip to any sections that might appeal to you. Remember, there's a baby in here?
Yeah.
I'm telling everyone there's a baby in mummy's tummy.
Mummy.
Yeah?
Rochelle.
Yeah?
We're going to see a baby today.
Soon we'll have the ultrasound. As soon as you find out you're pregnant, you've got that positive on your pregnancy test, it's better to call your GP, your doctor straight away and let them know so they can refer you to a hospital and you can start getting your prenatal care. If you know which hospital you want to have your baby in, you can just do a quick Google search and check to see if they have a self-online referral form. If they don't, then you can just talk to your GP, or you can just call the hospital directly and tell them that you're pregnant and you'd like your baby at the hospital. So with me, it was straightforward. I just quickly did the self-online form, and the form's quite long. It asks you a lot of general questions about your personal health, your age, ethnicity, if you have any medical conditions, your family's history, like your direct family's history, medical history, and also questions like if you've had a baby before, what was the experience like? Questions on how the delivery went, what type of delivery you had, did you have a cesarean, did you have what's it called, epidural, any medications you took when you were delivering, did you have a ventouse labour, forceps, all that kind of information. And yeah, so that's what you have to do. Once I submitted all my information, it just gives you a little notification saying they'll try and contact you. The GP or hospital will try and contact you as quickly as possible so that they can get your prenatal care started, which is really, really good. With me, even though Maya was born at the birth centre, you still have to submit all your information as well. So I was a bit surprised by that because I thought they would keep my records. I think they do have my records, but sometimes your health might change for whatever reason, you know. You might end up being diagnosed with something, or say somebody, a close relative, has been diagnosed with a condition, a new condition that they didn't have before. You still need to update that information. You need to let the your birth centre or hospital know. So that's why I had to submit all my medical personal information again. Try and get your prenatal vitamins sorted out. Try and take them as soon as you find out you're pregnant. Some women, they do take them before, but you know, sometimes things happen. You don't know that you're pregnant, so you might not be taking them before you planned on having a child or whatever. But that doesn't matter. As soon as you find out you're pregnant, just go out to the chemist, pharmacy, supermarket and just get your prenatal vitamins. With me, I always stick with Pregnacare. I think they're really, really good. I haven't felt sick when I've been taking them. Some vitamins can make you feel sick for some reason. So there was a brand of prenatal vitamins that I tried before, and they made me sick, and they actually had ginger in them. So I'm just surprised that happened. Right now I have to slow down a little bit because I'm still nauseous. I'm still having morning sickness. It's easing, but it's still there, so bear with me a little bit. So this is my vitamins. If you haven't seen them before, Pregnacare. This is the 30-day one. Oh, excuse me. Oh. That's the 30-day vitamins. Sorry about that. That's the 30-day vitamins, and usually they can be quite expensive. Like, well, I've found them expensive before, like £10, £11 onwards. But I found out when I went to Asda, my local Asda, they actually sell these for only £4, which was crazy. I was like, wow, that's a really, really good offer for 30 for like £4, 30 of these. And I even looked around at other pharmacies, you know, if I'd go somewhere and I'd look into another supermarket or like a small pharmacy or just a general pharmacy, and it was, most of them, maximum it was like £8 for the Pregnacare ones upwards. Luckily, I ran out of my Pregnacare ones 2 days ago, and I thought that I've got to find, and I thought, damn, I've got to quickly find some. But I've been struggling to like travel too far to get my vitamins because of morning sickness. I don't know if I'm gonna be vomiting on the street. Hopefully not. And with the girls, I'm taking the girls out, and I don't want to be sick going out too far. So luckily, I found out yesterday that my local chemist, they actually reduced the price. It was £10.35, and then they reduced it to £6.35. So I was really lucky. I just bought them. To be honest, if they were £10, I wouldn't have a choice, because I'm thinking I don't want to go longer without taking my Pregnacare vitamins. I'm still in my first trimester, so this is like the most crucial stage of your pregnancy, because you know the baby has to develop most of its organs, and like the framework of the baby all happens in the first 3 months. So that's it. So I'm going to say that's the Pregnacare ones. Take them on a full stomach, or at least when you're in between eating. If you start throwing up straight after taking them, do not risk taking another one. Okay, just make sure that the next day you take it when you feel like you might not be sick. You might be, if you're okay that time and you can eat a little bit, just take them then. Don't risk like overdosing or anything. You don't know how much you've digested. So another big thing that I've been dealing with, as most women have, is the morning sickness in the first, not the third, the first trimester. With the third baby, obviously I've been like having morning sickness, but it's not as intense as I had it with Rochelle and Maya. When I had it with them, it was really strong. Like I had strong food aversions, very strong sense of smell. I could smell everything. Like when I was pregnant with Rochelle, we were living somewhere else, and I could smell these. It was an old house. We were like renting at the time, and I could smell it. It almost smelled like fungus or like mold or something. It was something in the building, in the house or something. It was weird. So every time we would come out of the it's a flat. Every time we'd come out of the flat, I would be instantly like feeling sick because I could smell something. And Sean, he never smelled what I smelled. he didn't understand what I was talking about. He couldn't smell the things that I could smell. So that's a real thing. Like your sense of smell really heightens. Yeah, when I was pregnant with Maya, we were already living in our first apartment, so luckily I never smelled those kind of smells. But things like, there's a lot of things that you can't really escape from. They say that you should try and prevent smelling certain smells, but if you're cooking every day, if you're using the kitchen every day, you're going to smell food smells. Doesn't matter, you're going to smell the rubbish, especially when it's like hot and it's summer or something. So that was a struggle for me, but luckily with this baby, I don't have a strong sense of smell. Like, I can smell things, but my smell is definitely not heightened. It's not, which is weird. I have morning sickness like all day and all night. It's all the time. It's easing. I still have it now. I'm 12 weeks plus. I still have the morning sickness now, but it's starting to ease now. From 11 weeks plus, it started to ease a little bit. So I mainly get it late afternoon, evening. So now it's actually late afternoon and it's peaking a bit more now. I did have a peak with morning sickness. It was from week 10 to 11, week 10 and 11, beginning of 11. It was really bad. Like, I was vomiting like twice a day. But yeah, I'm hoping that this will ease. With Maya and Rochelle, my morning sickness didn't stop till about 18 weeks for both of them. And this pregnancy is a lot different than the other two pregnancies, so I'm hoping it might ease a bit earlier. Let's hope, fingers crossed. There are things that you can do to relieve your morning sickness. I don't always buy when people say they can get rid of it completely, to be honest. Like, I've never been able to rid it I've never been able to drink or eat something and relieve it for the whole day. My sickness isn't as mild. I shouldn't say as mild, but some people, apparently, they can just eat a couple of things or drink certain things and then they're fine the whole day. But with me, I can take certain things, but I can still end up being ill, feeling sick later on in the day. So I have a bit of relief from it. So Rochelle's back. Come, Bubba. Oh, I'm talking about morning sickness, Bubba. Rochelle, she's when she hears that I'm sick, she's always wanting to see that I'm okay and check that I'm okay and everything. And she knows now, isn't it? She's like, Mummy's sick, Mummy's sick. But yeah, what I'm gonna say is, in your first trimester, like, you need to experiment with a lot of different foods and drinks to find out what can help relieve your sickness. Not everything is gonna work, to be honest, and thank you, baby. Not everything is gonna work, to be honest, and at the same time, some foods and drinks that you could tolerate a few days ago, you might not be able to tolerate today or the next day. With me, at the beginning, I was tolerating warm water. Now I can barely drink plain water now. I have to have lemon in it or something. I have to have some kind of flavouring in it. So I can't really tolerate it as well. Depends on the day and stuff, which is crazy. As long as you make sure that you're not drinking or eating things with too much caffeine. They say about 200 milligrams is the maximum that you can have in a day. So the usual thing, try not to have too much caffeine. What helps me, at least for like a few hours, a bit of a relief, is first thing in the morning I would drink black tea with grated fresh ginger in it. So I'd get like a pestle mortar or something. I'll cut up the fresh ginger and then I would just grind it up and then I would put it in my tea, and that helps a little bit, and at least you know that you're getting some healthy benefits from the ginger as well. So, excuse me, I've been okay to drink that throughout the first trimester. Another thing is lemon water. Lemon and lime water is really helpful as well. Warm water with lemon lemon juice, and it gives you benefits, the health benefits too, the vitamin C and everything. Because now we're prone to getting colds and things like that anyway.
What's
being pregnant.
that, Mummy?
It's Mummy Sweets. I'm going to show that in a minute, okay? Yeah, Mummy Sickness Sweets. Call them sickness sweets.
You like some sweets.
So things like tea.
If you eat your sweets, you will be better. And then
those ones help, yeah.
You're not sick, and then you are sick. You're sick because you're not old because you're sick. You're old.
I'm old? I'm not old. Things like ginger biscuits and things with ginger in it, it didn't really help me in other pregnancies, and it hasn't helped me in this one as well. I think it mainly helps if it's like fresh ginger or pure ginger.
Another day.
Yes, well, coffee shop much later on. Lemon water, orange juice. I could get that down now. Before I couldn't have that. I kept vomiting that up. I couldn't have it. Now I can have fresh orange juice. I usually blend it in. And stuff like that. Try not to let your stomach get too empty. It's really hard, I know. Like I'm craving a lot of different foods, but at the same time, I struggle to even make myself something. I feel like I'm just gonna end up throwing it up anyway, you know. But you literally can't have your stomach empty, especially when your belly's growling. You can't be empty because you're gonna get worse. You're gonna feel more sick. So it's really hard, but you have to try and eat something. It will help a little bit, and at least you won't get cramps. Sometimes you can get cramps as well if you don't.
Because you're sick.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get cramps as well if you don't drink enough fluids, or if you don't eat enough. With me, I'm constantly hungry in this pregnancy, like constantly hungry, so it doesn't help. I have to eat something like all the time, and I'm really bad. Like I still don't really eat as much as I should because I feel sick, but you just have to try and get something in you. Also, when I have to leave the house, I have to like have something in my mouth, so I usually have hard-boiled sweets, and these are the ones I usually choose, and they help me feel less sick because I'm concentrating on just sucking them, and the taste of, you know, the nasty pregnancy taste you get, the metallic sour taste you can get in pregnancy, it helps like relieve it a little bit. So I've got these Jakeman's honey and lemon menthol sweets, hard-boiled sweets, and also I've got cherry menthols as well. Usually when I'm out and about, I always have to have those sweets, one of the sweets in my mouth. As soon as I finish it, I have to get another one. I take about, I'm going to take one in a minute because my nausea is starting to increase a bit more. But yeah, if you can, make sure when you go out and about and you still got the morning sickness, make sure you take some kind of drink with you, a drink that usually you can stomach, and take some hard-boiled sweets with you. If you're pregnant and you're eating and you're drinking and you can't keep anything down, you're constantly throwing up, and everything that you eat or drink comes up, you need to go to the hospital. You need to get checked out, and you need to call your midwife or whoever's looking after you in the pregnancy, because there is a condition called Hyperemesis Gravidarium, and that is very serious. A lot of people really suffer from it because you can easily get dehydrated, and it's more than just being having pregnancy sickness. I'm so grateful and lucky that I haven't had HG, but there are a lot of women that have it and they don't know. They just think that they've got normal pregnancy sickness. So if you can't eat and drink without throwing up, you need to call someone. You need to contact your you need to get checked up right away, because it could impact you and your baby, and it's unpleasant. So I just wanted to mention that. It's only about 2% of pregnancies. It's not many, but it's quite rare. If you tell your GP, your doctor, and they're not taking you seriously. Like you say, I can't keep anything down, I'm really struggling with my sickness. If they keep fobbing you off or they're not taking you seriously, then you need to keep going at them. You need to keep telling them. Also, change the doctor in that practice, speak to another doctor and try and get the help if you need medication for it as well, and go to the hospital if you haven't done so, because not everybody in the medical field has experience dealing with pregnant women with HG. So don't expect just any of your doctors to know or have experience with it. Some of them might just think it's just ordinary pregnancy sickness. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because it is very serious. Not everybody knows about that, and usually people that do know about that is only because they have close friends or relatives that have had HG, or they've been pregnant the first time and then they find out when they try to Google about morning sickness, and then they find out there is a condition called HG. I can't wait. Like Friday, I've got my dating scan, which is like the first time I get to see the baby on the ultrasound. I'm really, really happy and excited for that one. That's like one of the highlights of being pregnant, is seeing your baby on the ultrasound. So the first one, in UK, we usually just have 2 ultrasounds, unless you've got like a medical condition or something, or your high risk pregnancy. So in this dating scan, they find out exactly how far along you are, and you get to see your baby, which is really, really cute. And you get to see all how they're looking, how they're growing, and their development as well. The sonographer checks that everything's all right with the baby developmentally. They check that they've got the heart is beating, all the organs are in place, in the right place, you know, things like that. Yeah, I remember like with Maya and Rochelle, it was so cute because at the moment they're the size about like a plum or something, plum or a lime. At the moment, the baby's that size, and you don't feel anything yet, but when you see on the ultrasound, you see them actually doing somersaults and flipping and, you know, moving their body. It's amazing. It's an amazing experience. It's one of my favourite parts of pregnancy, you know. The 2nd and 3rd trimester is my favourite parts. I love that. Even being tired in the 3rd trimester, like, I still love it. It's the 1st trimester that I just can't stand. Like, I just try to get through it. It's survival mode in 1st trimester. But yeah, the 2nd and 3rd trimester is lovely. Just a quick information about the dating scan. So you have to make sure on the day you drink a lot of water. I can't remember exactly how much water you drink. I'll just leave the information on the video. But you have to drink a lot of water before you go. You can't empty your bladder. That just makes, having full bladder makes it easier for them to find the baby and everything. So they offered me a combined screening test, and basically that's a blood test where it checks if your baby is likely to have any birth defects. So things like if they're at risk of getting Down syndrome or Edward syndrome or Pato syndrome, I think it is.
I think it is.
So I had that done because I'd rather know. I'd rather be in the know if there's anything like that could happen. So I've got Maya's one here, so because I'm trying to remember how it looks. So Down syndrome, trisomy 18 and trisomy 13 screening, and it just gives you like a rough idea of the likelihood that your child could have one of these syndromes. So with the result, it says screening result, screen negative, risk of Down syndrome 1 in 22,000, risk of trisomy 18 less than 1 in 50,000, and risk of trisomy 13 That's less than 1 in 5,000, 50,000. 1 in 50,000 again. This test does not screen for neural tube defects. If your child is likely to have one of these birth defects, then they will contact you a lot earlier. But if you're low risk of getting it, then you'll just get like a 2-week. You'll get a letter that will come within 2 weeks' time. So fingers crossed for that, because you know, as being pregnant mums, you're always nervous anyway. Even if you're positive about your baby's development, you still have a worry and hope. You can't see what's happening inside your tummy, but you're still worried about your baby, you know. Right from the beginning, you're worried about your baby, how your baby's doing in there. So yeah, I had to get that done. And also try to keep up with your appointment, your dating scan appointment. If you don't get your first dating scan before 14 weeks, you can't get the combined screening test. So if you're 14 weeks plus, they won't offer you a combined screening test, which is more of an accurate test. They will offer you another test, but it doesn't screen for all of those birth defects. So for whatever reason, just try and make sure that you get your dating scan before that time, before 14 weeks. Right, and now I'm going to show you the first ultrasound of the baby. It's amazing because all of these ultrasounds look different to... Yeah, this is the first one. This the way the sonographer, the picture's really clearer than the ones that I had with Maya and Rochelle. I know you can't really tell what's going on in an ultrasound. It's quite hard to make out what everything is. But I'm just gonna like label a few of the body parts and stuff so you can see. This is just for. So this is the baby here.
So this is the baby.
Yeah. When Rochelle.
Here.
Yeah, when Rochelle saw this, she was happy. She was excited, which was good. She wasn't disappointed that, you know, she couldn't go in the room. We want to make sure that the girls are a part of this experience as we are, you know. Yeah, that's the first picture. The woman took duplicates of it. She's taken a couple of pictures there. And in the third picture, the baby's head down. And this baby was just lying there. The baby was sleeping at first, actually. Baby was sleeping. And then after a few minutes, the baby started moving, started waking up. And his hands and feet were starting to move. But yeah, this baby was just chill. Baby was just relaxed there. Like, not really moving about or anything. Which was really, really cute as well and different. Because all the scans that I've had with Maya and Rochelle, they were already awake and they're just like moving like crazy. They're just doing, like I said, jumping, doing somersaults, you know, moving around so much. And this baby was just like lying there and just moving a little bit, which was really, really cute. It was really nice as well. I enjoyed it. So yeah, the next ultrasound is going to be roughly between 18 to 20 weeks. So I'll be like 5 months pregnant. And that's when we usually can find out the gender of the baby and everything, the sex of the baby. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm barely even showing, to be honest. Like in this pregnancy, my belly's more like bloated than an actual baby bump. So a lot of people probably think I put a lot of weight on or something. But I'm starting to show now. But it's still like very, very like, you can't tell that I'm pregnant yet. So right now, I'm putting my jeans down low. Right now, baby is only here to here.
It's only to
at this
here.
stage, yeah. So I'm like 12 weeks plus now. Baby's only just underneath the belly button here. So In a few weeks time, baby's gonna go up and up and up. But yeah, right now it just looks like I'm bloated. It doesn't look like I've actually got a pregnant belly. But yeah, this is, I'm starting to show a little bit. You can see like the round bit at the bottom. I'm hoping that you guys got a lot of information and got a lot of things out of this vlog. This is like one of the first pregnancy vlogs I've done, and I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel, we've got more things coming up, and we hope to see you soon. Bye for now.